for the plot, but we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And a tropeに越されているので、私たちはそれら忘れて分析します。It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting all the shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Biggles Breakdown. We're talking finales tonight. I am joined by my two co-hosts, Little Chad, and no longer lagging Crimson Law. Oh, he's over here.
As long as
I turned Steam off this time. It really helps when Steam isn't trying to update 5 games in the background. I should have checked that first. It's the most obvious solution to that problem. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, you made me just check. I was like, my Steam library is all up to date. Good, I should be fine.
Mine's always up to date. Soon as I log on, I am seeing mean comments in the private chat. So I have offended everyone, and I'm sorry.
I called you a bitch because I sat here for 10 minutes and you didn't realize.
I did? I was trying to set shit up, and I was trying to fix my camera, so I didn't have this open. Okay.
I was sitting here staring blankly into the camera for like 10 minutes, and you didn't realize.
And then as soon as I switched back to the street, I was like, oh, Crimson's here. Click. And then I turned my camera on, too.
Just staring longingly at the blank screen in front of you.
I did. So we had a bunch of finales, and I'm guessing we had a bunch of shows that were not finales that I thought were finales. Like I thought My Hero X was on the finale episode. I guess I was wrong there.
Does it have 13, or is it only up to?
My Hero has 13.
Yeah,
I think it has more, and then My Hero I think has one more episode.
Oh, To Be Hero X has 24.
Yeah, they're doing a full 2 core.
Yeah,
you're getting like it's like a rank dungeon, or it's just going to keep going.
Dungeon in length, but nothing else.
No, I was going by. I was trying.
That's an unfair comparison.
So Crimson, we've realized that we have to give Biggles a very current frame of reference for things, or he doesn't get it.
Hi, Marcel.
Like Apothecary Diaries with that third sister.
Yeah, the third sister.
I love how you're just never gonna let him live it down.
No, it's never going away because we were babysitting him right there. He just.
He's like a toddler taking his first steps. We're just like holding his hand so that he can like pretend like he's walking on his own.
So, what do you guys think of this so far? Like, have you guys watched all the episodes?
So far, yeah. And I haven't watched this week's episode actually, but
it had really cool combat.
There are good things about it. There are bad things about it. I think it got really overhyped. It's a good show, but a lot of people were freaking the fuck out about it. I don't know. I'm not fully sold on it, especially because it keeps jumping from character to character every like 3 to 4 episodes.
Hate that. Give me more of, what was her name? Rain and Ling Ling, or whatever the fuck that guy's name was that took over for Nice.
Oh, Moon and Ling Li. Yeah.
Yeah, Moon. That was.
I was about to say, if it had focused pretty heavily on Ling Li for the whole show, I probably would like it a whole lot more. But it's like every time we get like to a character, get like to the core of a character and are about to see something like good happen with them, it decides it's going to shift gears and go to an entirely different section of the world to deal with that. That's my biggest problem. The tendency towards tragedy, I feel, is a little bit overly dark, and I don't want to say nihilistic, but it's kind of like it'll beat you down. But the animation is really good, and some of the character concepts are cool. Like Queen is effectively Star and Stripe from My Hero Academia, but much better design.
Cooler weapon and everything too.
Yeah, and generally useful.
Yeah, she has the rules set in her world, right? I like Queen's design, but I don't give a fuck about Queen. I don't give a fuck about Lucky Cyan. I
I
barely.
don't think many people gave a fuck about Lucky Cyan. That was really that was a really not so good arc for the series.
I mean, it had some really cool shit in it. I don't give a fuck about the Speed Electric guy.
I was
I
interested in
cared more.
Isol until they made him like basically a villain. Like you have this dude who is like this really nice guy who's like finally gets a chance to be a hero, and he just turns into a douchebag in the end. I'm like, what the fuck?
And he like basically kills the hero that he looked up to all this time.
Mm-hmm.
I cared more about the kid than I did for Isol. But like, give me more of the nice storyline. Like,
yeah, the Ling Li stuff was generally pretty good. Like, and it's the opposite of the Isol stuff actually, because like he literally like actually becomes a hero. The whole Isol thing is basically our main character is manipulated into taking over the role pretty much. It's I think a lot of people get distracted by the flashing lights. It's solidly written, I'll give it that. But it's too scatterbrained to really truly be a must-watch series for me.
I like it a lot. Crimson, you'll really like the fight in this episode that happened Sunday or whatever. But other than that, I don't give a fuck about Queen. I don't give a fuck about Lucky Cyan. I didn't give a fuck about Easel. I cared about the first one, and then they just kept switching characters. I was like, if I wanted to watch a show that was only 3 episodes long of the characters I like, I would watch a show about that. But I've been watching it because people have told me that it's setting it up to get to this big event, which they keep talking about in Queen's thing. And I was like, just give me the fucking characters I like, you fucking assholes. I don't give a fuck about you. So that's my problem with To Be Hero X. But I think it's a solid show. You know, I think it's right there and something that if you have the time to watch it, watch it. It's like a same day dub too. So I have no problem just watching it.
The dub for this one is not bad, actually.
Yeah, it's even got Ian Sinclair in it.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore we know it's good.
Any dub with Ian Sinclair, automatically good, yes.
Yeah, because he brings it. He brings it all the time, and he insults me in person, so it's pretty fun. All right, now we have to switch to like one of the must watches, you know, where glasses will call you mommy, a ninja and an assassin under one roof. Now, since we switched here, I have to do the funniest scene from like all of it.
I mean, I actually did after this last episode move this one up to my top bracket. It was just this series is one that I was harsh on because of the animation drop off from the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this before, and I don't like it when they'll like make the first episode really, really flashy and then kind of skimp on the rest of it. As like a bait you into watching the series sort of thing. But this one genuinely holds up on other grounds once you give it a chance.
So
the comedy, the timing, the writing are all on point. The character designs, even for what's amazing is how much time it seems they put in and thought to like basically throw away characters. These are characters that will be instantly murdered within 45 seconds of appearing on screen. And the character designs are still intricate and unique and, you know, leaning into whatever their little vibe is. And then they immediately get knifed by glasses.
Well, the last episode,
she got that Commando Pro going. I don't know what's up with that.
I
that,
do love
that lunge distance is
yeah.
hilariously long.
Yeah, I love this last episode where her brain is cross-wired and she keeps calling her mommy.
Satoko, mommy.
She's just like really upset the fact that Satoko is a good parent.
It's like she's having to reconcile. She had a horrible traumatic childhood and you gave her a very loving and happy childhood, and now her brain doesn't know how to work right.
And I like how like Marin
Take
and
care
her
of
sister.
take care of your children, or they'll become killers.
Yeah, exactly. So then there's Marin and her sister, where she's like, "I turned her into a baby. We're kids now. We don't have. It's your job. Like, we don't care."
Why did
So
you
they're
murder
like,
your parents? Because they weren't paying attention to you and it made you sad. So they had to die.
I hate you now. You destroyed our childhood home.
And then like Satoko's like a psychopath too. Like she's just like, I tried to turn her into leaves. Like just like, and then she's,
Which makes her a perfect match for Konoha.
I know, right? The problem children. But this is such a fun show. I fucking accidentally shut off chat. Okay, there we go. I can see chat again. But this is such a funny show. I can't help but love it. I might have to move it up in my best of the year so far.
I don't know if I would say best of the year, but it's definitely one of the top players of the season, if you ask me.
Listen, I'm a retard, okay? Comedies are more important than anything else.
So Biggles is the funny kind of guy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
out here like with my ultra pretentious, refined taste, being like, well, I like the writing of this, and like this character is done really well, and the messaging of all this, and
Yeah, Crimson
this is
is,
why we
is an
this is why we
elitist.
conflict.
Crimson would have his own anime called I'm an Asshole, but
Biggles
not
is
a
the
real
reason.
one.
Hold on.
What are you
Crimson.
talking about? Have you seen Ragna Crimson? That's one of the clips I use. There's literally a character that calls themselves Crimson, and they say like they get called an asshole, and their response is just, "Well, people say that about me all the time. I think it's one of my best qualities."
Well, that show also has the twins that shove fireworks up people's asses. So
So what Crimson, I'm just being honest, like Biggles is the guy who would put Temu in Japan, he's the audience that's putting Temu Tensei into like their top 3 for the season.
dude,
He's like
fuck that
it's
baby.
he's like
That show was
he's like,
awful.
"Oh, animation quality doesn't matter. It's good for it's just good." Good.
I mean, this is something that I was saying over the weekend, but people who are still glazing the studio for producing Fire Force season 3, um, you can tell that they've been lobotomized. They're talking about, oh wow, this is such a good adaptation, and all they're showing is just a bunch of black and white PNGs of the real world being played in the background as Shinra's character design gets elongated like fucking Gumby. The Fire Force season 3 has legitimately gotten the Timu Tensei treatment. It's sad because I enjoyed the series, and it was the first 2 seasons were really good. This season, the storytelling is dodgy. It was always kind of dodgy, but it's a little bit dodgier this time. And the animation doesn't hold up, so it's just like, why?
There we go. We'll switch to Fire Force. Now,
Do you watch Fire Force, Biggles?
I still haven't made it.
If I remember right, because I watched season 1 and then I kind of tapped out. But they've got a Dami Mommy character that should be right up your alley.
She was on the list of the Dami mommies that we tried to
Yes.
find.
Captain
But-
Hibana.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was awesome.
I genuinely like her characters and her powers, but she's not really used very much, and she kind of becomes a
Yeah.
Shinra simp.
Biggles would use her,
But okay,
or vice versa.
so I've never even made it to this or past the second season, and I keep falling asleep, and I can't get myself to enjoy this show.
Then don't bother watching. That would be my
and-
recommendation to you.
And
If you can't get yourself to like it, just stop.
but I'm trying to see the circumference scene that you tell me about. So I'm trying to get there because that sounds fucking hilarious. Because Arthur is a fucking dum dum.
The circumference joke, the whole thing around pi in that arc was hilarious to me, just because it was something so out of the ordinary and that I thought was genuinely clever. Like Arthur basically just sort of talk about it. Arthur somehow has pi memorized just by like a code that his parents came up with for him, where like each number corresponds to a letter, and you just like fill in the word. and he gets this whole thing about like it's the codified tale of the round table, and they're doing all this thing, and they're like checking like, wow, Arthur is actually right about this. And he turns around and he's like, so was Pi the horse of circumference, or was he an ally? And that's the whole thing that I thought was funny.
Yeah, Arthur's
He
a
has
fucking
no idea what he's
dumb.
talking about, but he's right.
So another one I thought was actually going to be the final episode, but there's actually 13. So far we've had one finale, right? That was the assassin, right?
Assassin's still going. We have one more episode.
Oh yeah, it's at 11, isn't it?
Fire Force just ended its first cour, so that would be a finale.
Okay. So none of us talked about what happened in it because we didn't really care. But so vigilantes. So it turns out that his daughter was taken advantage of. I don't know how to say it. By the bee. Possessed. Yeah, possessed by the bee.
Taken advantage of sounds really rapey. Just gonna say that.
It was.
Do we
It
need to
was,
get
man.
the
It's cool.
do we need to get Kurt in here to just call you out, Biggles?
I don't know.
Someone pulled a Kurt on me earlier today.
Was it little Chad? No, I'm just kidding.
No. I asked someone to prove their allegations against another person on Twitter, and they then decided to lump me in with the person, say, I don't gotta prove shit, and then call, and yeah.
I would have just posted a picture of Kurt then.
They blocked me. They blocked me.
Nice.
So hail the Lord if you're out there. Fuck you too, you retard.
I know that guy.
Yeah, well, he's acting like a fucking cunt right now.
Oh well. So My Hero Vigilantes, we found out that she was possessed by the bee. That's the better word. And we got a Pop Step concert. We had Aizawa taking down the thing at the end of the last episode. It was you. Uh-oh. He did it. And then, howdy, boys. What's up,
typical
Turner?
Boruto fan to harass people with baseless allegations.
There we go. And then we got Pop doing a concert, and her little fanboy that got turned into the eel and then got turned into the giant monster.
Everyone says her singing is bad, but I never hear it. Like, her singing sounds okay. It's not like the most amazing thing, but
Well, that's because they switch it to a Japanese girl and it's not English singing.
I'm not watching the dub.
Oh.
I'm talking about in universe. People constantly say, like, well, her singing isn't all that great, and she kind of sucks at singing and all that. I'm like, I'm watching the sub. She's not a bad singer. Where is this coming from?
So you're watching the sub. Did you notice that that when he says, like, Papa's here, and he says it in English. He says the word in English, and they still translated it to daddy. You notice that?
Yes. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff like that.
If the word is said in English, wouldn't you think that's the word they actually want to say in English? I just hate translators, actually.
Well, yeah, the translator thing, it's like a bunch of dumb shit that people do.
One of my favorite things to do every now and then is to turn on the subs while you're watching the dub to look at the translation difference.
Doing it with Fairy Tale is the greatest thing ever because none of it is like the same. They're all different. Like, every single sentence is different. It's hilarious. But yeah, I really like this episode. I like how Makito is basically making Captain Celebrity like a roadie. You're like, you have to go pick up these generators. Oh, this is my life now.
We know who wears the pants in any one of those relationships, you know?
We had Midnight basically telling them, they're like, sorry, I can't do anything. We just have to stand here. So she's like, yeah, I just have to be eye candy. Do you remember who this person is on the top left? That's the person who collected the bee at the end, right?
I think they're shifting into him being like the
The main
overall
villain.
villain. I don't think they've shown him yet. I haven't seen him anywhere.
Well, that's the guy who collects the bee at the very end, right? But he doesn't have the
that
hat on.
is. Yeah. I'm just hoping that Knuckle Duster gets to have his family back.
I know. All I care about is Knuckle Duster being happy. But you know
And
what?
let's just say, like, the animation these past 2 episodes surrounding Knuckle Duster has been godly, like genuinely, like amazing.
Well, the trash can quirk is amazing. The trash bag quirk. He landed in another thing of trash. Like, there's no way there's that much trash all over this town. And he finds it every time.
Or he just chooses to fight crime on Trash Day.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced. These guys are fun. The little but they kind of make it sound like Knuckle Duster is going away in the preview episode, or in the preview. Kind of makes it sound like Knuckle Duster is going away, and Koichi has to be his own man.
Well, yeah, I doubt it's going to be a permanent thing, but it does genuinely seem like, well, I mean, it makes sense, considering Knuckle Duster was really only in this to get his daughter back.
Crimson, remember when you said in your video that we can probably link if I had it up and I wasn't useless? You said Pop is basically useless, right?
Yes, she is.
Well, today, or not today, yeah, today, when the episode came out,
she's still useless.
No.
Yes.
The episode said exactly what my comment said. She's not useless. She's good at
okay, so basically she tells people where to go.
Yes.
Everyone else is doing all the heavy lifting, and she's out like, go this way, go this. You know what we have for that? We have automated that. It's called traffic signals.
Hey,
Pop Step is a good-looking traffic signal that jumps around like a fucking autistic teen.
That's a good description. She's
the
cutest traffic signal available.
Yeah, they have the cute traffic signals. Okay, they need the cute traffic signal
outside of being a glorified traffic cop and being the fan service. She does nothing for the crew.
Well, she's better.
She's basically just there like half the time. Like they don't even show her doing anything or directing people. She just disappears off into the background while Koichi and Knuckle Duster decide that they're going to be the ones to take on any given.
Hey, Pop is at least better than 13, who like cleans up everything but looks like a fucking astronaut.
13's design is retarded. I'm just gonna say it.
That's what I'm
that is true. At least Pop has a good design.
All right.
Like, I mean, if you're gonna force a character kind of in, you better at least make her super cute. So good job there. Like,
there we go.
If I'm kind of on Crimson's side, that it seems she's not exactly integral to the team, like to succeed. Like,
Yeah, like everything that she's actually done for them is stuff that you could have justified them doing on their own in other ways.
Well, if they're fighting the bad guys, she's getting the people out of the way.
I don't know. Maybe the people shouldn't be retarded and get out of the way themselves.
so Biggles,
the people are retarded.
If you need a girl to wiggle her ass in your face to get you to move, maybe you deserve to be squashed by the kaiju. Okay?
So what we're figured out is that she is basically like the escorts that professional wrestlers used to have go to the ring with them, the ring girls like Miss Elizabeth for Macho Man. She's there to just, be a little bit extra something to look at, but she's not moving the needle.
Good job, Muffled.
I did not survive my corporate layoffs. I'm still looking. It sucks. It is terrible to try to find a job right now.
I believe it.
Yeah, shit's fucked. Please stand by.
All right, let's see. Now we got Sword of the Demon Hunter. Did this one just end? Was that the finale?
No.
Oh,
did it? Sword of the Demon Hunter does not have an episode list.
It seemed like a season finale.
It may be continuing because on my anime list it still says 12 out of unknown. Same with Yaiba.
interesting because I mean, it definitely it definitely like if you this episode that just happened seemed if it's not a finale, it seems like a spot where they would take a break for a split core
That
because
would make sense if they were going to do a split core like that, but it doesn't seem like they're going to like my anime list is pretty good about announcing when anime are confirmed to end. Like I've never seen them have one that like just doesn't get an announcement and then ends. They're pretty good on that front.
I could
But
see this being like a 24 episode 2 core season where
I would that's what I suspect.
they'll basically do this one. They'll take a couple weeks off before the summer season starts to again give that time for animation. Because the one thing I'll say that made it feel like a finale was, especially in anime, when you're getting content over the end credits,
Hmm.
and that's usually your sign that it's either an end of a core or it's the end of a season.
Depends on the
For
anime. It really depends. Because keep in mind, ReZero talks a lot into the end credits all the time.
well, I take ReZero. It's because the animators in the studio are actually taking time and putting effort
Yeah,
into ReZero.
that's why I asked if it just ended because High Dive did have it for 13.
Hmm.
There's no more episodes. It doesn't show any episodes afterwards. For the next
Interesting.
one.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
But I think it did make sense because once again, this show wraps it all back up from what they were going with earlier. Because this last episode, you find out what happened to the body of the girl from the first episode, and that is what caused all the demon in the water, causing it to create demons from the spring, and then it shows that what was I saying? I completely forgot where I was going with this. Oh, and I think the sobi or what is the name of the food that he
Soba.
eats?
Sake. Oh, are you talking about the soba,
Soba, yeah,
the
soba.
noodles?
Yeah, so he says it tastes different. So it's probably because they've been using the same water, and now that the
No,
bodies don't
that
know.
no. Did you
You,
not pay? All right, I know. All
I,
right, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I'm
It's
lost. Yeah,
because
go ahead.
he's losing. It's this whole theme of the episode is him hardening his heart against his own humanity
Okay.
because he's when he had to kill his dad,
Hmm.
and
His adopted sister hates him.
as he's killing his dad, he's talking about how the humanity that's still in him
Hmm.
is actually holding him back from doing what he is sworn to do.
Hmm.
And then you also get the saying goodbye to his girl who's God, that was such a talk about messed up, man, using her remains to do that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's terrible.
it's
So
fucked.
he's basically, it's like, when he's going in there, they mention he hadn't been there in a long time, weeks.
Hmm.
He's shutting off his human senses, his humanity.
Hmm.
And that's why the waitress demon girl
Hmm.
walked him out, because she wanted to give him that reminder to not give up. She could sense it,
Hmm.
that he's giving up on like being, having emotions, being a loving person, being human. That's why she said, "You remember the flowers that I told you about that survived the winter to blossom, and they
Hmm.
blossom out of it." And that's why he smiled. That's her code to him to like, I see you're in pain. You're trying to shut off because you had to, like, now the younger sister that you actually did really care about hates you and wants nothing to do with you. You had to kill your father after his whole trauma, and the fact that you had actually found peace with him and had been spending time with him occasionally too. She was pulling him back to humanity. That was the end part. So the fact that he couldn't taste it, that it was bland, was kind of the insinuation is that he's moving away from the things that still made him feel human, and it's starting to feel less. And that's why it was so important for her. Like, she sensed it. She's a demon too. She knows what it's, like, her humanity comes from her relationship with her adopted father,
Hmm.
and how important that is for anchoring her into humanity. it's going to be interesting to see because I still think she's got to still be alive by our future, our whatever the present. I think it's not actually our present. It's supposed to be like in the mid 2000s or something.
Hmm.
Whenever we time skip back to him being the student in the high school in the 2000s,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure she's still going to be around somewhere, probably running a store or doing something. Because if she ages as slow as demons are supposed to,
Hmm.
she instead of late teens, she's probably going to look like she's probably in her upper 30s, maybe early 40s at this point. I still think I mean I'm purposefully staying anime only on this one.
Hmm.
So I think that there's a possibility she could be the one who's being his quote unquote guardian for him to enroll in the school in the area.
Hmm.
If she's managed to keep the ties up. So, and I think you can see by the way they're showing him in the future, where he's got those little laughs and and his humanity is clearly still there. That this is something where it's going to be important, and he's going to learn the lesson of not giving it up, even though he feels like it's reducing his effectiveness against demons. Because there's going to be some kind of confrontation with his sister in the Edo period.
Hmm.
I don't think it's the final battle. I think this is going to be one of those like initial fights that kind of ends in the draw, or he's even losing and she just doesn't kill him
Hmm.
for whatever reason. But I really liked it. I thought it was well done. I still I wish we had gotten a little more interaction. Hopefully, like Crimson said, it's a split core, so we're gonna still get more of it because clearly from the fact that there was the memoir from the
Hmm.
harlot, who ended up marrying the samurai. I mean, we know that's going to be the end game because they've already told us that from her memoirs.
Hmm.
There's going to be more interactions with her and him because they even talked about it in the class where he was complaining about how he was written throughout the entire story. Like I wasn't, I don't think it was very nice the way she was writing about the Ronin. I'm going to have to read this now to actually see what she said.
Yeah, I hope there's more like future stuff. I really like the past stuff, but I kind of want to see what's going on in that timeline as well, you know?
I feel like that's something that's got to get worked up to, honestly, rather than jumping back and forth. I like the scarcity of it because it makes those sort of episodes special.
Hmm.
Um, but they'll have to eventually get to that point because that's ultimately where the story's headed.
Hmm. I want to see if he's still fighting demons back or in like high school and shit. That could be fun. But yeah, I really liked the 13 episodes that were out. It's definitely one of the best of the season. Maybe one of the best of the year so far. Um, but yeah, I really liked it. Now let's have some fun because fucking degens.
Mm.
The
Mm.
I didn't
Honestly,
finish the
this was
Can I
second
tell
better
you
season.
than.
this show is actually surprisingly good?
It
Yeah,
So,
is.
this is what I was gonna say. It's better than it had any right to be, honestly. Especially like it was basically like what I described should be a lot of etchy series, a the usual romance show, but with a little bit more risque content. That would be like the ideal etchy series for me. Because then you're actually focused on telling like a proper story like this one did and giving us some good characters who are fun to have around, and you can have all your uncensored fan service as much as you want. A lot of people like trash this one for whatever reason. I think it's just because they don't like that Takamine does the thing in the first episode and their brain shuts off at that.
Well, I know that is the case with someone I like talking anime with too. So,
which is crazy because as speed run of Shield
sword.
Hero that it was, once you get two or three more episodes in, she's so clearly in love with this guy that she was just doing it to like the blackmail that was the only way she could get him into that role. And then
I
everything after that is her little by little trying to improve not hers, his life to help him take the lead, to be a star, to achieve his goals, and in
because
turn,
she wants to be the classic heroine, effectively.
yeah. And you can hear it in the way everything she does. Like everything I do, I'm gonna be the best at. And so because I love you, you have to be you. I'm not gonna let you rest on your laurels and be a mob character, right? You're gonna be a pro tag coon.
I think she even intentionally like let all of this happen because she wanted an excuse to get him near her. She knew that he'd never actually approach her, and this was the opportunity that she had.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep during this last episode, so I didn't finish it. Is this the episode where they were painting trees and she's like, "Don't you make basically like don't make fun of him," and like took them off so he could repaint the trees?
Yes, she
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
but then we also get, and this is
I
we
think that was
find
episode 11. Episode
was that
12,
the yeah,
we find out that someone in the cast apparently has a foot fetish.
that's what I was gonna get at. Mister the original Prince was only super hyped to do it because he was gonna get to touch
Her
Takamani's
feet.
feet. And then they completely changed they ad lib because of him coming out crazy on the stage, and it was really good. It was a great. I think the show overall, like Crimson said, it represents the best of what ecchi should be, which is you get your fan service, but you're also still like this as a romance is actually pretty compelling. They're
It's
very good.
I would say it's above average as far as a romance goes, but I wouldn't say it is like the best of the best in that genre. Like I don't think it
No,
competes with something like Love is War or
no,
Dangers
but
in
I
My
would
Heart.
say for ecchi though, this is probably
Mhm.
the best you're gonna see of romance in an ecchi series. That's what I mean. This should
What about
be.
High School TXT's romance? No, I'm just kidding.
I love High School DxD, but it's romance. I mean, um, come on, like
I was making a joke, but
I know, but is was the face style? Oh yeah,
is that I don't
is
really notice. I think they look
they
fine.
do a little more alien face style? Like that's the you can see where it almost looks like a gray alien. The shape is more kind of that hard.
It is a unique facial style, honestly. Um, I prefer the fact that
It's
it
amazing.
actually does.
Crimson's eyes were actually up there. He saw the face.
She
No,
has a face. What? Hold on.
um,
Just
no,
like
I appreciate that the creators had their own style for this rather than just copy pasting the mass produced style that they could have gone with. That's why
What's
I kind of like it. I don't think that the face design is bad. It's different. Um, and I actually kind of liked it. I thought it worked well.
Yeah, I can try to remember if the other childhood friend was a more traditional design. I think she was.
yeah,
Um,
I like
No,
kind of
they all had kind of pointed
did they all
faces.
have the pointed
Yeah.
faces? I loved, by the way, if you're gonna do an etchy series, like lean into the fun stuff and making the childhood friend a lesbian who's perving on Takamine instead of like the normal. Well, we're normally gonna. Of course, there's gonna be a love triangle between the other childhood friend, the tomboy one. No, it's not that. She wants to touch Takamine.
the love triangles
Well,
attack
well, the
me.
thing that this like has a distinct advantage over a couple of the other etchy that came out this season, um,
Is one's
is
not
the
a
fact that
sex robot?
its plot is consistent. Like there's actually like you can follow the progression through it. With other things, the only amount of progression you'll get is they'll add a couple of new characters and maybe you get some relationship stuff. Like with Yandere Elf and the other one, what is it, Machina Sons of Love Bot or something like that.
Something sex bot. Yeah.
It's not something
Oh,
about Biggles sex doll. Um,
oh yeah, I didn't watch the Biggles sex doll show.
I
Big
watched
old
two
sex
episodes
doll?
of it. I watched 2 episodes of it and just I dropped it. It's like it is everything that I genuinely hate about ecchi nowadays. Like all the bad parts of it, and it's just yeah. Also, it's very femdom, and I'm not really into that kind of thing. So,
All
Yeah,
right.
if yeah, I think
sorry, femdom and shota, and I'm not into either of those things.
I'm old fashioned with my etchy. I want it to be plot driven etchy. I want
No, this is why I
to.
describe myself as a pretentious asshole. Is because like, even in the gooner stuff, the degenerate stuff, I still prefer to have a good, well-made anime and a story that I can actually like enjoy, alongside of the generous helping of boobies. Okay.
By the way, I think it's hilarious that High Dive is publicizing the like back on our show. It's Monster Mass. You can back on High Dive. It's right on their front page.
I
Give
prefer,
me a second season of Monster Musume already.
I prefer
That's a quality ecchi. It is.
I've been reading the manga. Honestly, it's.
I prefer my ecchi to have a song about the pervert Red Dragon Emperor musical.
Oh, the Grab and Dragon. Yeah.
The Grab and Dragon, that's what it was. The Grab and
Biggles
Dragon.
prefers his ecchi anime to have dudes in it. Big hairy dudes like Zangief.
You know, it's on the one hand, I love High School DxD. I think it actually has a lot of stuff going for it. But I do appreciate that right at the same time was a Testament of Devil Sister came out. And it was basically, it's like, hey, if do you like High School DxD, but you think that yeah, it sucks because he won't get down with those hot girls, well, here's an anime for you because he does get down with every single one of them. So there you go.
Oh, okay. We want to talk about the best romance. All right, I got
Rent
you.
a Girlfriend.
I got
Did
you.
you see that new panel, Crimson, that came out today?
Which one?
The one where he's like, "I wait for you until you love me back."
That was from today's chapter.
Yeah. I'll wait until you love me back.
All right, let's talk about the best romance.
Bro, just pack it up. Pack it up. This is sunken cost fallacy. I know you've spent more than $250,000 on this bitch. She ain't worth it.
All right, let's go. The best romance. Little Chad, you want to take it off?
Oh yeah, Gorilla God's Go-To Girl, which is had in the 12 episodes we got a full complete romance arc that makes Rent a Girlfriend look like a little bitch. we had a lead who was afraid to talk about their feelings but then she talks to the squirrel about it, but then the squirrel turns out to be the romantic lead. So you're good to go. And she gets to fight her apparently counterpoint. This is interesting, Crimson. In this world where people are blessed by animal gods and get powers from the animal gods, the two most powerful blessings for combat are gorilla, which our female lead got, and leopard, because there's no other animals that would qualify apparently.
Like, there's no bear. There's no bear because a bear would fucking wreck almost every other land animal in a fight.
A polar bear specifically, or a grizzly.
I was going to say, like a polar bear, a tiger. Tigers are pretty fucking wild.
Lion.
They have a leopard, but a tiger would fuck up a leopard because it's like...
Okay, tigers are one of the few animals that will actually, like, hunt humans, okay?
And effectively so.
Yes. Gorillas are ridiculously strong. They don't even know proper bodybuilding techniques. Just imagine a small gorilla. Okay,
it's like the Crimson gonna go up to the gorilla and be like, "You even lift, bro?"
How much you bet, gorilla?
It's like, "You little bitch, you've been skipping leg day."
This is to avenge Harambe, boy. Come on, put your back into it.
What's funny is that this show effectively, by the way, is Harambe meets Peanut the squirrel, and they form a couple. It is actually of the time. It's a perfect combination. Like the couple is Harambe and Peanut.
I would think that most primate gods would be pretty good for combat because even chimpanzees are kind of fucking raped.
They will bite people's faces off too, man.
Yeah, well, they use tools. Same with orangutans, dude. And like the great apes, they do not fucking mess with them. They are savage. But yeah, like any sort of bear, a tiger, you would think that all of those would be like your.
Oh, he disappeared. He's gone.
Steam must be updating.
Crimson got wrecked. Look at that. Look at frozen Crimson. Look at him. Look at him. Glorious.
I'm back.
The
I'm back.
glorious Frozen Crimson.
I'm back.
He's back. Okay.
Someone must have unplugged my Ethernet cable.
Nice. Oh, he's gone. He's back. Hold on. Let me get him.
There he is.
Okay.
There he is. All
He
right.
got wrecked.
That was I literally saw the signal go out, and I went to diagnose it, and it said Ethernet cable not plugged in. I'm like, is someone fucking with the router?
Yeah, so back for Gorilla God, the show it's got a nice good arc where we have the shy and won't talk to each other confession, going on first dates, and then fighting to defend each other. It's the full like anime arc, except if this was Rent a Girlfriend, these 12 episodes would be 17 seasons.
And then
And-
he would pay for all of it. I'd pay
Yeah.
you to defend me.
I have a rant up on my channel talking about how writing a romance is more than just progression, and people who emphasize progress over everything tend to annoy me when it comes to romance, because they'll complain about something not happening when literally there is like this whole arc dedicated to characterizing one member of the cast or giving them some character development to flesh them out. And like, oh, there's no progress, so therefore shit romance. I'm like, fuck that. But there is a limit to how little progress you can make. If what you're doing doesn't in some way make the story better, you're fucking up. And that is the entire problem I have with Rent a Girlfriend, is because this whole thing has gone nowhere.
But this has. So I'm
I also
convinced-
love the character. I think the designs are cool. They give them, because they get school uniforms, they get their junior night uniforms. They give them these little. I mean, I can't tell you how cool I actually thought the little half glove touch was, that they're wearing those little half gloves, because it's just such a small little thing to make it a unique kind of design and stand out. Because how many times have we seen these style uniforms in anime, right? So what's something that can give it a unique touch where it'll stand out and you'll know exactly which show it is? Give them a half glove, because no one was doing that. It's some little like that, because this show came out of nowhere and was a surprise, just good entertaining show that was like, where Atelier I watched because it was a same day dub, and it got kind of stupider.
got worse
And
and worse.
it started stupid, but it was like goofy stupid, and then it just kept going like, hold my beer, I'm gonna keep one upping how stupid I'm getting. Go to Gorilla, the Gorilla God's Go To Girl kind of started a little silly and maybe like, I don't know, and it actually progressed where it got better. The drama and action got more real, like in terms of, we find out a lot of subplots for, like, for the aristocratic school thing, where they have the villainous people. They gave them the backstory we get on our Leo, what is his name, Leotard or whatever,
Leo Hart.
Leo Hart.
Leotard. My name is Leotard.
Well, if you think about it, the way the blessings work in this, the reason why leopards are able to like kill gorillas is because they're fucking super stealthy. But the way the blessings work in this, I guarantee Wolf guy right here, the commander of the fucking land units, would fuck this guy up in a fight. Right? Would guaranteed fuck him up in the fight, the way the blessings work in this. And then I'm also positive that the head of the marine thing would fuck him up, because he'd just poison and paralyze him and just be like, you're no match to me. Because this guy is the scariest motherfucker in this entire show. They had one scene of him, he's like going in a minute, and he fucking kills all the poisonous fish in a second. Right? Or paralyzes all the fish in a second. This
Oh,
dude,
the jellyfish. Yeah, no, that's the jellyfish.
yeah, the jellyfish captain. Dude, this guy's fucking the scariest dude in this entire show.
As long as he has water.
I'm sure he could do it outside water.
No,
too,
he said he can't. He has to have water to do it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, it was
just
when,
throw water on him. You throw a cup of water on him, and fucking freeze him. Boom.
because they
This dude would be OP with a squirt gun. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Was it a couple episodes back when they were on the sea town and they were doing the different trainings for the land, sea, and air divisions? he pointed out that like, oh, are you? Oh, he's like, I'm good as long as there's water around, and that's why he reaches in, and that's when he can basically do the jellyfish tentacles to shock and subdue everybody.
All right, time to get squirt guns and make this guy OP. Um,
Give him a Nerf Super Soaker. He becomes a one-man
give, him,
army.
give him a super soaker. I there we go.
By the way, when you, oh, I just when you want to get around to it, I've got that panel from Rent a Girlfriend
I've
to
seen
share.
it. I saw
I
it
don't know if Biggles had seen it.
okay, there we go.
until you feel you love me. Okay, this is the thing though. Like, she literally said that she likes him already. She just won't date him.
There you go.
Yeah, that was the thing. She said, I love you, but no, I'm not going to give up anything about my current life and getting paid to be with dudes to be with you. That would be silly.
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't care about any of them.
was that basically the Rent a Girlfriend is effectively if you took the ending of Pretty Woman and instead of having Julia Roberts as the hooker, like be like, you're right, I love you. I'm going to quit this life of being a hooker because I want to be with you and have a happy life. If the end was actually, nah, peace out, dude. I'm making good money. These dudes want to
Later,
date
dude.
me. You live next door. You can hear when I bring them home. It'll be fine.
You'll get all the action just through the wall.
It's like I'll make a ninja android robot that you can talk to about how getting cooked is good for you.
Satoko butt.
I know a really good programmer.
But yeah, I was actually surprised. Like Gorilla God was one of those nice pleasant surprises. Like, am I going to be upset if I never get a season two? No, because I kind of feel like I got plenty out of it. It's not something where I'm obsessed with it, but it was a good show. Really solid. It was a solid anime show for the season.
Poor Eddie. He got blessed by the cat, and they're just fucking bullying him.
They didn't. Well, yeah, they were just talking about how cute he is now.
You're so cute, and he's like, "This is why I didn't want to tell you."
Yeah,
I
so
mean, it was
he's
pretty obvious what he got blessed by, given his personality.
yeah. What was hilarious when they were like, "No, I, the roof is collapsing. Go on. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Just go." Why were you fine? Well, I'm only gonna tell you once. I'm blessed by the cat, so I can land on my feet for no problem. They're all like, "Oh, you're a cat." What's really funny is that means her little best friends are a cat and a dog.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah, it's great. And then her boyfriend's a squirrel. All right,
I just wait for the dog to look up and be like, Louie, what, squirrel?
squirrel. Um, so it says I felt the same way about Saint, where if you don't get a new season. So let's go talk about the two Perfect Saint, because this was the perfect ending. They don't need I don't think they need a season two. I don't care if it continues. This was a perfect ending.
No, this
Like-
genuinely was a good ending for this series, and it doesn't need to go any further.
I mean, I know the light novels keep going. I don't. If it didn't get a season, sometimes you're very disappointed when an anime doesn't get a season two because there's unresolved stuff that you're really upset you're not going to see. With this, we have a pretty solid idea of where it's going to go, even if it continued. Like, obviously, she's getting with Prince
Oliver.
Oliver, and her sister is now hooking up with, was it Ferdinand or whatever?
Prince Ferdinand, yeah.
Yeah, because they're clearly gonna be all together, and so they're both getting their happy endings. She found out who her mom was, and they've reconciled on the terms of being a mother-daughter now. It's it's wrapped up in a nice little bow, and any continuation would be like, I mean, I would imagine since light novels continued, they're gonna have things that could happen that would justify having more. I would think it would involve probably those other Saint family with the one with all the daughters that she's teaching the one sister of. But I like you guys. I kind of feel like it's actually pretty solid. We beat the evil demon that had been waiting 500 years. Like, I mean, I don't really need more. It would be. I mean, they're cool characters, and her sister was the real star of the show for the season.
Yeah, Mia was great.
Yeah,
The thing
Mia.
is all the things that were driving the best parts of it have been wrapped up as far as the plot goes. All you would really like be getting out of a season 2 is the happy fluffy stuff that you kind of just assume is going to happen from this point on.
Mhm.
And it's that not happening in this first season is why it really ended up becoming good, because you had the sister revenge plot to basically fall back on for a good chunk of it to make things much more interesting.
Well, the narrator.
If they tried to do a season 2 of this, and like Marcel says, that there's only a little bit left and not enough for a season, like you'd probably get left with all of the bits that were, it's kind of like Horimiya pieces. Like you don't need to watch that. It would be filler pretty much. The main plot's concluded. There's nothing left to go over. That's why I actually oppose doing a season 2, because it's good as is.
Give them a little movie where they get to go on a vacation and get a beach episode. There you go. Oh, win. Okay. But
That was the one thing this show didn't have like other animes, was a hot springs
or
or
a
beach.
episode. Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know what, that would be in the next season, because then you'd get them, the two maid girls would be in their bathing suits, the ninja maid girl and
There you go.
the twin tail
Yeah.
maid girl. But aside from that, which I'm sure there's going to be fan art galore, so you don't necessarily need that. I think I'm still waiting on second and third seasons of other shows that are really more important for me to get animated.
Claymore. Cough. Claymore.
Like something like Claymore. I know it's in development and it's supposed to drop the end of this year and beginning of next year, which is Trapped in a Dating Sim season 2.
Better hurry up, man.
You know, I think it's set for I think it's 2026 probably at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and the light novels are done. They should be just committing to animating because it would only take about probably 3 more seasons to kind of run through what they need to cover. And they could be done. I don't know. I know why studios, it's all, anime is an investment in driving sales of manga and light novels. So, but it's still like, come on, man, feed the content beast.
So we have Marcel here. He's all our research we need because he's reading it. The narrator did say, and she gets her happy ending, and then you finally have a smile on her face. I think it's funny because the only other time she seemed happy, they chibied her and then they removed her mouth so they wouldn't show her smiling. Her eyes were smiling, but she didn't have a smile. So I really like that she was finally able to smile, because I have a video on the channel that's like, I changed the title, I think, to be more like, or why can't you be like your sister? And then in the video, I was like, bitch, learn to smile, the anime. Like, but you know what doesn't
And the
make this-
narrator goes, and she did learn to smile like Biggles told her.
She did learn, Biggles, so fuck off. But what makes me upset is they didn't fucking rip out Julius's heart and crush it. That would have made this the greatest anime ever.
Oh,
But
he's gonna be killed. I mean, he's gonna be hung.
I know, but I wanted Mia to rip out his heart and crush him. And I didn't.
So that's
get
how.
that.
But remember, this is how Mia does things. She perfectly orchestrated
Everything.
She orchestrated so she lured him into committing a coup that failed in front of everybody, including the king, so that there's no way out. And once he's convicted of that, that's a capital offense. He's gonna die. and she's doing it all nice, legal. So all perfectly resolved, and Mia will then smile like she smiles when something like that happens, and she'll hold Ferdinand's hand and they'll go walk off and have a nice walk in the garden. She's Game of Thrones ready.
We got a $5 super chat. Dude, I checked out Trapped in a Dating Sim audiobooks on the 2nd, and it's awesome. Thanks for the recommendation, Biggles. You're welcome, Jeremy Turner. Thank you for the $5. You know what you get for $5?
I've heard enough of this sniveling pageantry, you weaklings! Listen carefully. Fight till you die. It's better than getting killed while you stand here and tremble. You can go fight, you big jerk! Oh! You bet your butts I'll fight. After all, I'm a real noble. Unlike you wannabe royals, I'm not a coward.
I
There
think
are some shots of that make that shotgun look like absolute trash.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well,
But,
I did edit it a little bit so it wouldn't get me copyright. So
I think, by the way, for Leon, I think a better clip would have been when he's like basically perving on Mylan. He's like the queen. It's like
Queen Maline.
Queen Maline. It's like, hey, will you help me make memories? Sure. I love you. And as her son is right behind him as he's like confessing and trying to get her to leave her husband and run off with him.
Yeah, I don't know if it lets me add any more video clips. I think I'm at my limit or something because I can't add another one. But I do have the one where he's right before he's like Queen Maline. It's where he's like, "Now you die. Do you donkeys know who this woman is?" And like fucking goes kicks the shit out of everyone and defending her honor. Man, I love Trapped in a Dating Sim.
How far into the audiobooks are you now?
I'm reading 5 or I'm not reading 5. I'm listening to 5 and the AI is now calling Angie Orange.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's Orange? And I was like, oh, it's Angie. And then it goes.
Is it like AI translated as well? Is that what
It
you're
might
dealing
it
with?
might be.
It might be
Because Angie, orange would probably be pronounced orange.
and
It's a loan word in Japanese, so it's pronounced much like it is in English.
I was just wondering if Biggles got to the part because in the later books they definitely lean into the Uranus between Angie and Olivia.
yeah, hold on. We have some complaining, so all right, you fucking heathens, take that. Jeez. But no, they keep calling Angie Orange, and then whenever they're like Leon Coon, they're like Leon cunt, and I was like, what? It's so funny.
Yeah, so you're over in the at this point it's the holy tree storyline.
Yeah. The Commonwealth areas, something. The Commonwealth. Yeah.
With the syscon that is what's her name?
Noelle and something.
No, what's the villain? The girl's name is
Luis.
Luis. Yeah, Luis.
She's not even a villain, dude. She's just like.
She's just a syscon. I mean, a brocon.
Well, her brother died, and he looks just like Leon. So.
Not to get knee deep into the side stories, are you reading the Marie side story, like the alternative, at all? No, you don't read them. You do the.
I don't read the light novels. I have the manga, and the wedding one just dropped yesterday. So Leon and Deirdre just fucking broke up the wedding. Deirdre fucking basically destroys the Offrey family, and Leon saves Marie. As soon as she's like, "Save me, big bro," he comes in with a fucking shotgun. He's like, "I got proof that you guys are fucking with pirates," and then fucking ruins the wedding.
I don't think he actually knows that it's his sister in that one.
Yeah, they haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
But she said, "Save me, big bro," and he fucking kicked in the door at the same time. So it's basically foreshadowing. And then it already says in that one, like, "My brother fell down the stairs and died." And then you know it's Leon, so because Leon falls down the stairs and dies, you know.
So the Marie story becomes very intertwined with the main story by the time it's done. I'm not going to say time loop, but maybe there's a time loop. Be ready for it.
Maybe. I assume there's something that links them. But because otherwise it wouldn't make sense that she would be reincarnated at the same time when she died like 30 years later or whatever.
She only died like 15 years later.
Same thing. 30, 15, there's no difference. All right. I think this one has
Yeah, so
nothing
Two
on it.
Perfect
Yeah,
Saint, I think the overall assessment for Two Perfect Saint is good, solid season of a show. Doesn't need anything more, and it's a good, solid one and done kind of show.
All right, Copy Kitty gave us $5. Does anybody know if Dark Gathering has a season 2?
I haven't heard anything about a season 2.
No, they like never make actual announcements on it.
Let's see. They don't even show a potential second on my anime list. So I'm going to have to say no.
Nope. I mean, it's just like me waiting for the second season of Gate. It's just never happening. I mean, I hold out hope that they'll all somehow be like Devil is a part timer, where after like a decade they're like, yeah, why not? Let's do a second season. That's cool.
So I just finished Seventh Time Loop 2 days ago because next week is the Villainous Takeover, but we got a super. So it's and let's drop this.
I need to document the occasion.
Huh? No, you don't!
Also, thank you for the $5, Copied Kitty. Sorry, we did not have that information.
Yep. Also, Biggles would like to remind everyone that Kaiju number 8 is coming back soon.
Yes, but that's going to be later. And after the first 2 episodes, which will start kind of slow, it should start going into full send. And October 31st, Kaiju number 8 has like the cards coming out for Union Arena, which I just pulled this fucking Magna card for the Black River ones. And I'm going to spend like $500 on the cards for Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, he came into my chat and started talking about how erect he was from pulling that card.
Full on erection for several hours. I had to call a doctor.
You know the reason they tell you to do that is because it will necrotize your member if you have an erection for longer than 4 hours.
Can you not use big words and just...
It rots your penis.
Necrotize
go.
means dead tissue.
Oh, okay. There
Like,
you go.
you ever play a video game and there's a necromancer?
Yeah.
And what does a necromancer do, Biggles?
It rises the dead.
That's right. So necromancer, necro, means
It's dead.
dead
Yeah,
tissue.
I do. I didn't know the other part of the word. Okay, stop saying ish. That implicates you on a list. Stop saying ish.
Shit.
30.
That's just how he usually types it like that. He means shit, but he says ish all the time.
Oh, I meant like... Oh, whatever. Who
They
cares?
died that far apart.
Yeah, I was talking about death, okay? No announcement, but there's hope. We got a new member for 1 month level, the Biggles Brigade message. Or no, this is a 1 month membership chat, right? What's your record for super chats in a stream? Do you mean money-wise, or do you mean total? I'm drunk. Yep. I'm keeping it PG, you slut. Oh, thanks. But because we got a member message, we
Biggles
get
the slut.
we get this one.
I need to document the occasion.
Huh? No, you don't!
And because I haven't used this one in a while, we get this as well. The fucking craziness of that show. I fucking love that show.
The thing is, like, they cut that last episode off before you actually ever like see the result of the whole season. So
money wise, let's see. I think the biggest super chat was Drug 3PO, maybe for like a lot of money. I don't know what it was.
drunk 3PO for a lot of money. You realize how little that narrows it down.
Yeah, it was Drug 3PO for. Is there a way to tell like your old super chats? Like,
I don't think so.
does anybody know how YouTube actually works?
I don't think there's a way that you can check. I'm sorry.
Damn. Earned. Let's see. Supers and gifts. See all. Crimson for 50. One time. Drunk 3PO for 50. So it was Crimson and Drunk 3PO. And he said, oh, and that was for my birthday. So for my birthday, I think it was like a total of $200. And it says, this was my contribution to the Biggles birthday fund for booze, strippers, and hard drugs.
That sounds like a me chat.
He's a good man, that Crimson.
This is what my new political party, the Troll Party, stands for. Okay, booze, strippers, and hard drugs.
Hey, I mean, when we start our own award show, it's going to be full of strippers and blackjack. We'll make sure to have those in the background.
There's just a pair of wire strippers in the background.
Yeah, we could do that. I could do it.
I could grab some wire strippers from the fucking tool trailer before we did that and have them on screen.
We can have some fun with that. I'm busy watching Death Note, and you're bragging about Kaiju number 8. It will be good for sure, but stop blazing, dude. I love Kaiju number 8. Listen, there is a sunken cost fallacy in Kaiju number 8 that I've already spent over $2,000 on that franchise. So you can't tell me it sucks. I will fight you to the death of my money. Till I run out of money, which will be hard.
Biggles is full autismo when it comes to Kaiju number 8.
So I think I keep accidentally backing out of these whatever I had here. So I'm just going to remove them. Let's talk about another one that just ended. I'm an evil lord of the intergalactic empire. Or as Crimson calls it, I suck at being evil.
Another good show. One that was better than I expected.
From the writer of Trapped in a Dating Sim.
Yes.
Same writer. I thought it finished great. I like that we the end of the season was leaning back onto the relationship between Amagi and him, so that it could reinforce that that's after what happened to him in his previous life. He's not letting anyone, even the robot, get him out of what he wants.
Yeah, he's like, listen, robot, you're the most important thing to me, so you're not going anywhere. And you're not allowed to hurt your own feelings. So listen. All right, but we got a $10 super chat. I'm not spending 50, but I appreciate a proper stream with fairy tale conversation. Get on board, Crimson. I can do a whole stream about fairy tale if you want. I think we did do a Biggles breakdown on fairy tale alone.
Fairy tale sucks donkey dick, and I'm not going to watch it.
You take that back, you motherfucker. Okay, but because of the $10 and the fairy tale is mentioned, have some Lucy. I'm going to have to get the Urza one, but I'm going to have to mute it because they're talking through the whole thing. And we don't want it to be talking. We just want Urza walking in her bunny waitress suit. So we'll have to work on that.
Did anyone else? All right, so back with Evil Lord. How fun was it when the merchant was like, we'd like to get some more data on the whole body reconstructions you did, and he turns like, oh well, she's the one. So and she's like, yes, and she just strips down. It's like, look at my body, Lord. Lord Liam, look, and he's like, no, don't tell me, tell him. I don't want. She's
full on gone crazy.
I just love how completely indifferent he is to it, as he's supposed to be. Like, we've seen him demanding a harem earlier in the season, and he's still like, no. And then we've got from factory number 7, the girl in the orange jumpsuit come in, who's now got the girl from factory number 3. like jumping in with super dreadnoughts to try to steal her sails.
Be like, you slut.
And then was it
Back away from master, you hussy.
I just love the butler, like, oh my god, Liam is enjoying the real women. I'm
And he's
so
like, I'm
happy.
not enjoying this. Poor Brian. He'll never get what he wants.
The last episode was a glorious clusterfuck. That's what I will say.
His parents were like, we need more money. And he's basically like, fine, go away. Leave me alone. And then they want to get rid of Amagi. How do you say your name?
Amagi.
They want to
Amagi.
get rid of Liam, is what they want to do.
Well,
Yeah,
they
well-
want to
They're
do
using
that too.
Amagi
But
as a way to get to that point.
Yeah, so that was because the guide used his power to try to get them to turn, like, basically kick him out of being the Lord. What I loved is the actual representative of the Empire after Amagi came in there, and they were gonna make, and they made the deal where she's diverting pretty much all of pirate, the pirate treasure to pay off their debts. And he's like, look, I would never have done it anyway. He's actually like really good as a lord. He pays his dues. It's like, why would? And she's just like, well, I wasn't gonna leave it to chance. It's fine. It was a good reinforcement that it was nice seeing, like, you see these anime where you're like, oh, these completely inept intergalactic empires, where it's like, no, they're not completely inept. They recognize this guy is quality and pays his dues. We're not getting rid of him for you useless pieces of. I loved when the guy was like, you never paid your taxes the entire time you were the Lord. He's like, well, I'll do it this time. And he's like, I'm supposed to believe that?
yeah, he was like, fuck you. I disagree with Muffler Tape here, except for the Lucy part, but I am a fan of Juvia. Juvia is my favorite. Juvia, yeah. And then Tabitha is going to teach me how to draw Juvia, so you guys can see her really good drawing of Juvia, and then my really bad drawing of Juvia, and you can tell me that it was a good drawing because you guys don't want to hurt my feelings, right, guys? Because I have feelings.
I love hurting your feelings.
I know, it's great.
Biggles, you have
What are
feelings?
Yeah, exactly. What are feelings? I'm just trying to get pity.
Biggles is looking at Crimson and goes, I know now why you cry, but it is something I could never do.
Biggles is like, feelings? I don't have time. The instructions are too unclear. My dick is now stuck in a toaster.
Oh yeah, I am getting the painting of Juvia from Hankley's friend. She's going to paint a Juvia picture for me as well. But no, I'm getting a lesson on how to draw Juvia as a chibi. So I'm going to try to draw chibi. Let's see, what's this? Fairy Tale has some ups and downs. Grand Magic Game arc is peak, but Mashima does an amazing job making you care about the characters. Also, Urza supremacy. Look at this. We have a fight between someone who loves Lucy, right? Loves Lucy. Someone who loves Urza. Then we have me, who's all about Juvia. Right? See, I told you, Lucy. White girl. I'm guessing this is white girlfriend is first with Yandere. So your boy. I'm guessing that's Death Note, right? Isn't his name Light? Does he have a girlfriend? I don't know.
Technically, yeah, I think he's talking about Misa.
Okay. Ugh, this is hateful. There's also Misa. Okay, I don't know who that is. But there's also like Eden Zero, which has Rebecca cosplaying basically as Lucy in her cow outfit. Yeah, Masha was awesome, dude. I even like Farmagia. The fan service goes over her head. It's good.
I'm sorry, I have refined tastes, and unfettered garbage just doesn't fit into that.
You didn't even get to the best fucking arc.
I watched 100 and I don't know how many episodes of that show, and they're sitting here like, you didn't get to the best arc. Bro, it was a fucking slog to get to that point. And you want to know what? I ain't gonna put in any more effort on your fucking trash ass word.
So yeah, most people are like, you got to just give that anime about 3 episodes and you'll be fine. And Biggles over here, you got to give it about 300 episodes and then you'll finally be good.
Biggles
you gotta
is
get
full
to
on
175.
One
You got to get to 175.
He's full on One Piecing it right now.
You have to do 175.
Episode 700. After episode 700, it gets really good, man. Like, trust me, bro. Just watch 700 episodes. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, Eden Zero is good too. But
Fairy Tail is just genuinely one of those shows I have zero intention of picking back up.
let's talk about one of my new favorite animes ever. Catch Me at the Ballpark. The ups and downs of being a fan. Watching your team lose with a bases loaded, full count, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Devastating. Devastating. And then you see the recovery. They're losing their manager. You get the fan appreciation day. Now, if you ever get to go to one of your teams that you like, fan appreciation day, they are great. I love this one. I'm glad you started it. As a huge baseball fan, as someone who loves going to the ballpark, this is everything I like. And they have beer girls. Look at that. They got beer girls. And I love how Ruiko ends up like getting the fans into it in that final game, trying to get to the climax series. And yeah, that's what it's called in Japan. I'm guessing it's like the playoffs. But thank you for pushing this one. I love the show. I really hope they keep going. Get the balls out of your hand as a Archie fan. Us losing to LSU is major depression. See, look, Chat, other than Crimson, who's not a sports person, Chat is loving it. You know?
Are we talking about Fairy Tail?
Oh, well, this was Fairy Tale, but no, I'm talking about this, right?
Oh, good.
Catch
I
Me
was
at the
about to be
Ballpark.
like, no, I thought we were talking about something we can all enjoy.
Yeah, this is. I like how I never noticed Murata's on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
And then we find out who Sunshiro is.
We found that out like 3 episodes ago.
I know, but Crimson hasn't seen it. But so we find out who he is, right? We get all the cool shit in this, and it's so much fun. Like the one girl's like, I graduated, I'm going to be a teacher, and they're all sad. You got Sarah and Ruiko crying. But now next thing, we have a new character, a new challenger, if you will, to Ruiko's love interest, Murata. A new challenger appears. We got the pink-haired girl, so we'll see what happens next time. I assume it's going to be another one with Murata because for some reason everybody fucking loves Murata. We got Yamada, we got Ruiko. We got her as the goddess of baseball to Brian. It's just so much fun. You get to know the characters. You get to know the true character is the true main character is the ballpark, and you get everything else involved. You are all gay since you are on with Biggles. Joking. Loving hearing from you and hope June rounds out good for you. Well, I was sick for 2 weeks in June. I got stuck in the fucking airport, but it was my birthday in the beginning of the month, so that makes everything else up. So we'll be fine. And I got to watch Catch Me at the Ballpark, so that's all that matters to me. But the fucking Mets have lost like 20 games in a row, and I think they're losing right now, actually. So disappointment every day. Yeah,
no, this was a good show. It was it was just a fun slice of life themed around the different, like Biggles saying, the different parts because when you go to a baseball game, you think it's just the players on the field, but this show is about everything else that's going on. I liked that they didn't actually win. It was, it wasn't just some magical, super happy ending. And that it was kind of funny that we speed ran right into the start of the next season,
Mhm.
and that we're apparently being teased with the possibility of a cute pink-haired vendor girl that we don't actually really see. And I think this is beyond the English translations you've been reading, so you don't have any idea about who that girl is.
Yeah, this is past what I got, man. So I'm like, I need more. Come on, give me the translations. Let's show. There's 130 chapters of this, and only 31 of them are translated. Going to have to fucking learn how to read Japanese.
You can't even read English properly. How the fuck are you going to read Japanese?
I don't know. Maybe it's like looking at pictures because I can pretend each word is a picture because they're drawn, basically. We'll figure it out. I'll try. I literally have 7 games to teach me how to
How to
uh,
finger yourself?
yeah, how to finger myself while learning Japanese. Just for you, Crimson.
I don't want to see it.
I'll record it for you and send it. No,
Please don't. Genuinely, please no.
All right, let's go from my favorite to Crimson's favorite.
Eee. This one is. I liked a lot of the psychological elements that went into like the early episodes. The middle, not as strong as the rest of it. It's been doing well on the later end now that it's sort of wrapping everything up. But it definitely thrived most by its psychological stuff before you started going to the outside world and getting a lot of information on that. A lot of people were saying that this was going to be a lot of people were saying this was going to be a rushed adaptation. I kind of see um, why they would say that, but I still have really like genuinely enjoyed this anime. I thought it's been pretty good. There's a lot about like nostalgia and regret woven into this one. For like about like wishing you could change the past or like clinging on to it and or like the idea that you have to move on entirely. Um, but it's good. I think its weakest point, like I said, is the middle where it starts really focusing on the creepy hermaphrodite. And I don't know, I just don't really care much for him as a character. It's best when it focuses specifically on Reiko and the psychological thriller elements surrounding that.
Yeah, so it kind of goes over my head a lot, and I gotta kind of go back and redo it. So I'll probably rewatch this as a dub, so I can like look at the other stuff that's going on. Um, so Kudo basically destroys it at the very end.
Well, he is the whole reason that this version of Kowloon exists at the moment. And Reika basically runs up to him and like shatters his illusion, and it all starts kind of falling apart.
Yeah, so we'll find out what happens next time.
I don't want to say too much about it because if anyone hasn't watched it, it's a good watch.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
It can be kind of crazy, and I will say the first episode had me down bad for a little while.
Crimson bought like 7 body pillows, but not the normal body pillows. He bought the ones with those like beads that you to make them all. Yeah, they stimulate or not stimulate. They're like a yeah. They're like a thing,
You know when you do know there when you
It's like when you put
when you it's when you
when you
when
put a
if
grapefruit
you
in the
when
microwave
if
and then
you did
stick
you
your
when you if you
yeah.
did when
It's like sweet cherry pie. American pie it. Biggles.
you really fucking struggled with that.
uh, She's a sexy lady that deserves to be on the list. There you go. Have you guys watched this since it came back? Our Last Crusade?
I've never watched this series.
Okay. What about you, little Chad?
I watched like the first season, but I haven't watched it since it's come back. I kind of wanted to wait to go ahead and let it be a dump, yeah, like where you get the whole season dubbed.
So like 4 weeks from
Yep.
now. It since coming back, like they held off to do like some of the animation, and it looks like a lot of the fight is more like computerized animation. But it looks the fights look really, really good. And I think they did a great job like taking that extra time to do it. And since it came back, it's probably one of my favorite shows to watch. You get a whole bunch of stuff in it. So since you guys haven't watched it, I just wanted to bring it up because we haven't brought it up since it came back. And see, someone agrees with me. So I just wanted to bring it up because I really like this one.
I mean, I
hear
like
a
the
couple of
first
people
season.
talk about it.
I just figured I didn't watch it as it dropped for the first season. It was one I just kind of found through where it recommends. I was like, oh, I'll watch this one, and I liked it, but it wasn't one I was like, oh, I want to watch this every week. No, it was like Sword of the Demon Hunter. Yes, I'm watching that every week. Evil Lord. Yes, I'm watching every week. Even Go To Girl. I was watching that every week. This one I was like, I'll wait because I watched it dubbed, and I kind of liked the like the feel of watching that without having to do the subtitles because the aesthetics were pretty good. So
Yeah, I really like this
meaning the
one.
lead heroine is a good build. So I enjoy being able to just enjoy the screen.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's talk about Witch Watch.
This one is continuing, right? It's not
Yes.
actually.
It's a
Yep.
yeah, because there was
Core 2 has been announced.
well, it also said at the end that there's a next episode. So
Well, yeah. When yesterday they announced full on Core 2, so
there you go. What's said in your next episode? So it turns out
There's a third sister.
is he muted for you?
Yeah, he's muted for me too.
I like his
Can you-
camera just like okay. Yeah, your camera went black for like half a second
Well,
and then you
my-
couldn't talk.
my entire screen said connection disconnected, 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 and I was like, "What the fuck?" But we're still live on this stream, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sweet. So the hipster is a werewolf. So
Yeah.
we got a werewolf, an oni, a tengu, cat girl, and the witch of thousand.
Yeah, well, I kind of always figured that the hipster was sus, considering he's like the only character with zero power in this whole thing, and like he's just sort of like thrown into the cast. I'm like, there's something weird about this guy. I don't know how to feel about it, so like I was entirely unsurprised about the betrayal and all that.
I thought he was just going to be like their YouTube guy. Did you what did you guys think about when they're fighting and Mohi is wearing like their YouTube merch? He's wearing their YouTube merch. That's a true friend, you know. People who wear other people's YouTube merch. Just in case Sporking ever watches my show, which he says he hates me.
That's a true bro move right there, Biggles.
See, everyone hates you, but we still show up because it's fun to make fun of you.
I thought they all come here for you, and then making fun of me is just a bonus.
They all just want to use my body. I don't care.
I understand. It's rated on my anime list as a 10. Crimson's Body. I'm pretty sure it's an anime, kind of like Jessica's
My
Body or
titties are
Jennifer's
10 out of
Bodies.
10.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Ah,
out of all of these, who's your favorite character so far?
I would say Nemu, the cat girl, just because
Mine too.
every time it is something ridiculous with her. Can we talk about like I was really like confused when like she gets captured in last week's episode.
Yeah.
Like I looked away like at the time where like they like, gave her the pill to put her to sleep.
Uh-huh.
I thought they administered it as a suppository to the cat at one point. I was like, what the fuck?
That would have been way worse.
I hear the noise and then she just like falls asleep. I'm like, did they just
Well,
stick something up her butt?
I like how he's like, it's my choice if I want to save the cat or not, and then like takes the pill and it's like, oh, it's not a cat.
He's like freaking out. Oh my gosh, it's a pretty girl.
She's like, I met you guys already, and she's like, I can't tell them that I was a cat, and they were. Or then there's the bathhouse scene where she's like, I'm getting a bubble or a
She's like having the
again.
best time of her
Bubble
life.
scrub again. Yeah, she's like, I'm getting a bubble scrub again.
The show is just one of those, just fun, nice. There's nothing groundbreaking particularly about it. There's
I
nothing like. It's just fun. It's just a fun watch. I don't. I mean, it's weird because when you're in a season up against like Apothecary Diaries and these other goat like a goat type show, it's you know it's hard to like gauge. I'm sure Witch Watch, I know it's one of the top. I think in the shonen stuff, it's one of the top most popular like mangas that they publish right in the magazine.
Mhm.
And I can see why, because it's just this appeals. I would say this is one of those things. If you're talking like movie terms, it's a four quadrant. It appeals to every type of anime fan. Everybody will be able to kind of watch and enjoy this and not have any problems with it. Is it as goated? Is it goated like No, it's not Apothecary Diaries, or it's not Freerun. It's not any of these ones we've been getting lately. But it's kind of what the peak of what you would want as a just kind of a general anime viewing. It's a it's just a good it's like the best 7.5 or 8 you're gonna ever see.
I would say
Like,
eight's appropriate.
yeah, it's like so to me like that it's the best example like of an 8 anime, which is an above average pretty good anime. This is like one of the top tier ones you could see of it, because it's going to have something you'll enjoy, right? You're going to be able to root for a character. You'll find a best girl. You'll find, you've got all those little check boxes. And I think comedic animes are lend themselves better for this than like the serious one. You can see so many like shonen style, like power fantasy animes, and they all blend and kind of go generic. Whereas this kind of thing, when you do like comedy bits, like I know I've joked about it before, but that bit where she multiplies herself and they're just still all one person's level of strength, going each knee son, each knee son,
Ichini, beep, beep.
each knee,
Ichini, beep,
beep
beep.
beep. It's funny because like when you do the comedy stuff, you can have those bits where it'll just stick with you. Like we all know, like with Konosuba, you just when Aqua is getting eaten by the frog, and they're trying to like pull her out of the frog's mouth. Or to me, I remember like they showed in I think the OVA, the flashback to when his brilliant idea was to lock Aqua in the cage in the lake until she could purify the water. She's being attacked. Well, no, you better keep purifying. It's not going to do itself. Like that kind of stuff. Like that stuff sticks with you. So it's good. I mean, this anime season has been full of above average animes, but not that many like breakout new goated ones. Like that's what's interesting. Like usually you might have
It was a solid
yeah.
season, but not a fantastic season.
Yeah, for Biggles, for like a baseball reference, this is a nice like 25 to 30 home run, 275 outfielder. Nothing, you're not getting the $800 million contract, but really good, solid, like kind of effort.
A
That's what
good
this season
player
of
to have
anime
on your
was.
team.
Like this season was a 275 30 home run season. Like not end of like a record book kind of era season, but a solid season that just you'd be happy to have every time you could clock it.
True. So for me, I keep falling like into these little like lulls, I guess, for this show. I'm like, in the beginning, I was like, I'm just kind of watching it because I really like the visuals and how like the art style is on this. And then they started referencing like Dragon Ball and a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I really like it. Then there was a part where I was like, I'm going to wait till like 3 or 4 episodes come out. And then the last 2 episodes came out, and I was like, yeah, I care about these characters again. But I like this show. They even made the Tengu that I thought was super fucking annoying really likable. So yeah, I ended up liking this a lot, and I'm glad I kept watching it. So I want to at least say that. So let's go to Apothecary Diaries, and I'll let you guys talk while I prep for something a little later in the show.
You're not worried about the third sister?
I am no longer worried about the third sister that was the same person.
This is one that's just like, as far as writing goes, it really is just kind of a master class in how to handle a story. A lot of the thing, like, it doesn't really like do like some like really deep romance or anything like that, but the intrigue just in the general plot of it is so fantastically written. Like, they do the whole thing with the mystery of like wrapping it all together and everything that happens in one season and wrapping it all together very, very well. It may feel like there are some like filler or time waster episodes, but they end up coming back to being something pretty important to the show.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of are on a repeat loop about Apothecary Diaries. It's
I'm kind
what
of
more?
upset there was no episode this weekend.
Yeah.
So
What I
Yeah,
mean,
it's true.
what more can you say at this point about it? It's one of the great animes, probably
of the last 5 years,
of
at
the
least.
last 5 years, possibly. It's being so well done. I'm starting to like it's creeping into maybe the all time for me. You know, it's getting like we're going from like goated for an era to goated for like the century. So definitely it's moving up my list. I could see by the easily putting it into a top 10 for the 2000s, you know, because it's just that well done. Is it going to be for everybody? Because it's if you're just like if you just want to watch Dragon Ball, you're not going to, Apothecary Diaries isn't going to be scratching that itch, right? It's for it's got more depth to it. It's going next level. If you're on your anime fan journey and you started with some like power fantasy isekais or Dragon Ball or shonens, and now you're ready to kind of look at where more of the like the the where the genres are available within anime, I cannot think of a better written show to watch than
The, the
Apothecary Diaries.
the sad thing is that it's like the action ones that catch a lot of eyes. This kind of, I feel like, flies under the radar for a lot of people because it doesn't have that like flash element to it. It doesn't have that
Yeah.
like hype moment or a farming, all that bullshit that you would get like a lot of the other popular ones that people were talking about. It's but in
I would
terms
say,
of
yeah,
like
it
in
doesn't
terms of
even.
art, this is fantastic. Like, it is a well written story. There is
Well,
no
the
arguing that
animation
there is
is.
no arguing that this is not a fantastically written one.
I would say, in addition to the writing, the animation quality over the course of the entire series has held up as good or better than almost any anime I can think of in the last quarter century, right? Because we've talked about it before. There's cheats. You mentioned it when you were talking about Ninja Assassin, right? They do the very first episode really high quality, and then they do the drop off because,
Mhm.
whereas Apothecary Diaries, and maybe it's because they don't have to do flashy fights. or really big stuff so they can afford to spread that budget out more evenly and keep a general high quality throughout the entire run. For whatever reason, the animation is consistently good. Pretty much like there's not a drop off, like you see it in other ones
Mhm.
where you can see
Yeah,
the episodes where they're taking it off. Now, occasionally, like anything else, there's gonna be cheats for budget savings, and I don't, I don't hold that against an anime because no anime is free from having the occasional still frame with a pan of the camera.
yeah.
But
I've described the feeling effectively as like there is a certain generic feeling. Like, let's take Timu Tensei, okay? There's a certain generic feeling
God,
about
yeah,
everything that it does. Its character design, its world design, the way it uses its tropes, all of it is just so drastically common. That's one of the biggest sins of it is everything just feels so common. There's no uniqueness to the designs or anything. With the Apothecary Diaries, like the whole set feels like the world is actually something that is um substantive. Like there's a lot of attention to detail in the way things are done. That's one of the things as far as the animation goes that I do genuinely appreciate. It is it doesn't feel like they're skimping on the designs for sets or anything like that. Like it all like they could have easily done more generic looking structures to save on time, right? They could have easily done
hmm
more generic things overall, but they didn't. A lot of this looks really fitting for the story. And while its intrigue is certainly there, and its story does take a little bit like a little while to like pop off, like I liked the Apothecary Diaries all through season one. I was glad that I had watched it, but it wasn't amazing until the very end when all of a sudden they just slot all of the pieces together and you're like, holy shit, that is some really, really intricate forethought.
yeah, it's the when you're talking about the background characters and the world development, it makes me think of the two of the shows that are some of my favorite, my couple of my favorites of all time, ReZero and Mushoku Tensei. And what is it that elevates them probably above almost every other isekai and kind of thing in those genres? It's that it's not just like overpowered protag-kun, right? Like runs roughshot. The
There's
world is
dedication to
real.
every level
Yeah.
of those creations. Yes.
Like, and when you get a show like ReZero and how I know I was genuinely, and we talked about it when it aired, the having the Wilhelm arc finally completed, and he's a side character, right? In most other anime, that kind of side character might get 3-4 minutes of development. Like you're not gonna get entire blocks of time and episodes dedicated to the backstory of the random butler side character. But ReZero, Bushuko Tensei, they do that for their side characters because when you create a world that exists without the protagonist, because remember, like a world to be a really kind of living, breathing world, if you took the protagonist out, would it still keep moving? Would things keep happening? Right? In the case of Mushoku Tensei, we know exactly what would have happened because of time loops. But with where you take the protagonist out, but
Rudy
just
is
like
literally the wrench in the system that makes
exactly.
things change.
Yep. That's what you get with Apothecary Diaries, right? You have a complete sense that aside from what you're seeing on screen with your main characters, at any like all of the things happening around them are kind of organic and real and kind of in their own world, and you don't question that people are just almost like a simulation. They only as NPCs exist to talk when the main characters come by and involve them in the story. That's the sign of a really great anime and really great storytelling in general. I think that's one of the things that made Freerun great, is that you gotta, as they travel that world, you see all of these places exist in their own space and are doing their own thing, and Freerun is just traveling to it and not the reason that they're existing. They Apothecary Diaries is giving you that same vibe, right? We have our leads, but we have all this other stuff just going on in the world that feels completely real and organic and natural and well written, and nothing is just happening because and with the protagonist. And even
It was a lot of this thing happened, therefore.
you know and so I would again, if even if you don't think it's your normal anime cup of tea, because it's not so, if you're normally just a harem or an ecchi or a shonen kind of person, this is the kind of anime where if you give it a chance and just let it kind of grow, and you're probably going to still end up enjoying it because it's just got good, well written, compelling storytelling. And I think that's one of the highest praise you can give it, because completely outside of genre preference, if you give this show a chance, it's very hard to not enjoy it.
Thank you for taking the lead for that. I was setting up something for a little later in the show.
And let's just talk about how like almost every one of the intros for this show is a fucking banger. We do not talk about season 1 intro 2. That one sucked, but every other song is really good.
I know. Speaking of good intro, man, by the way, I did go see, how they released the first 3 episodes of Dan in theaters, the Evil Eye arc. Man, that shit is keeping it's keeping that elevated.
Yeah, like I said, it improves upon that arc in the manga. It's just generally fucking fantastic.
It was so kinetic. It was just, I don't even, seeing it in a theater too, by the way, was such a good, to see that kind of, such well animated kinetic movement, and with the sound design and sound mixing that they use in Dan, man, I know Biggles is biased, but if they keep that kind of level up, because I know they showed some interviews in the theater they brought on the guy who did the intro is now been brought on to also be the co-director of season 2, along with the original director of season 1, to be able to help split duties. And that just tells me that's going to be great, because if you go to that, I mean, that intro to Dan was just wild and, frenetic, and had a whole bunch of good stuff, where I'm thinking that they're splitting their attention a little bit, where they're letting maybe him do, especially with the evil eye power set and move, the frenetic just movement and stuff. It looked great. What I was getting at is, I think Biggles, that Kaiju number 8 is going to have a lot of competition for best of summer, man, because Dan looks like it hasn't lost a step at all.
There's some really good stuff coming from Dan as well. Like they're gearing up for basically space globalists in this season. So, or not, they're not going to do that. It would probably be like season 3, but they're going to cover some important character arcs that lead into that. So,
well, it'll be to be fair, summer is fucking stacked. So.
Yeah, summer has a whole lot of shit. Especially, like, really the 2 off the top of my head are My Dress Up Darling and Dandadan. Those are the 2 that I'm really looking forward to.
Mine are Kaiju and Call of the Night.
Yeah, if Kaiju number 8 has a drop off and you better hope that the studio doing it doesn't like rest on those laurels.
Really, the only harem I like is Trapped in a Dating Sim, because I like Leon so much as a character, and fucking 100 Girlfriends.
I was about to say, you better mention 100 Girlfriends in here, because that is a fantastic harem. I do still strongly recommend, as long as we're talking harems, tying it out with an Amagami sister. But
that's this year, right? That was this year?
No, that was like the end of last year or the beginning of this year.
I think it was winter.
It was fall and winter.
Yeah.
Fall and winter. Okay. Mm-hmm. I actually have that on my list to watch, but
bro, there's some funny ass shit that happens in there.
All right. Let's talk Windbreakers. So this one ended. They ended this one. It even said season 2 end.
Mm-hmm.
So We got a reincarnated Rengoku, except he's a psychopath now.
Yeah. As far as Windbreaker goes, I think season 2 suffers from starting with its best arc so far and then ending with its weakest arc so far. It's not like this entertainment district thing wasn't a good arc. It's just the weakest of all the things that they have covered in this anime, if you ask me. So it gives the perception that it kind of goes downhill when really it just kind of fluctuates a little bit in overall quality. But I still say this show is Tokyo Revengers, but good.
And Sakura has so much fucking character growth in just a month's, like less than a month's worth of time. That's how long this has been, is less than a month. Two seasons, less than a month of time. Sakura has so much growth in this 2 times. I don't watch this because it's on Disney Plus. So
I watch the hell. It's on Hulu too.
oh, is it? Well, I
Yeah.
don't have Hulu either.
I haven't watched it either.
It's so good. I mean, if you haven't, it's hilarious.
I can go ahead and like watch it on.
It was either that or catch up
the
on
site.
Windbreaker, and I was told to catch up on Windbreaker.
Yeah, Windbreaker is awesome. I really like it. I like the entertainment district, but that's because I like the gang in the entertainment district.
They're cool. It's just the supporting character information for that arc surrounding Tsubaki just wasn't really a thing for me. I felt like it had the weakest villain of all of them.
Oh yeah, the villain sucked. I don't know why I just accidentally shut us off. But yeah, but Endo is the villain, and he's not even the strongest of his group. The psychopathic Rengoku one is the reincarnated.
So I'm not the I'm not the only one who saw that and was like, "Hey, it's Rengoku."
You're
That's
currently
a decent
annoying,
one.
Swix.
My senpai is annoying. That's a decent one.
Hey, Swix, are you older than me? If so, you're my senpai who's annoying. I just want you to know that.
Senpai.
Otherwise, you're Swix-kun. I don't know. Actually, I might actually be able to.
All right, pop quiz. Do you know what the opposite of senpai is?
It's starts with a K, right? Konho? What? Am I close?
Kohai.
Kohai. Yeah, so he is my senpai. Fucking annoying ass motherfucker. Swigs is. Yeah. Fuck you, Swigs. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want to talk about Windbreakers at all, or do you want to just go? To
I
the
don't
next
really
one?
have much to say that I didn't already say in my video, so it's kind of one of those things where, like, the season's wrapped. I really only have a few short points to say about it. It could have been structured better. I don't like this latest arc as much as I did the rest. The fights are really good all the way through. The animation holds up all the way through. And it's very character centric. So when it doesn't really give you a good character to work with, it's not as strong, which is what this latest arc suffers with. Is the characters aren't as good, and therefore the overall quality of the show suffers for it.
All right, little Chad, you want to say anything, or do we go to Country Bumpkin?
I think we just move forward to Country Bumpkin.
All right, we are here with Country Bumpkin, where he had to kick the shit out of his
season 2 announced. It deserves
Yep.
it. I like this one.
Dude, I have been laughing my way through the show with the dub.
I watched the dub for the last episode. It was horrendous. Whoever the
The student girls
the
dub
foreign
is so
captain-
bad.
The foreign captain was so horrendously bad. You can tell it's some dude who speaks English as his second language.
Oh, dude, it's so funny. It's almost as funny as Dinner Table Detective bad.
Well, they're both
But-
Amazon dubs. I believe these
I
are
know.
both Amazon.
Yeah,
anime.
they're both Amazon dubs. But I am laughing my ass off watching the dubs because of how bad they are.
Like, why does Mui sound older than some of the other characters? She's supposed to be
Yeah.
like the youngest.
She's
Yeah,
like 13 or something.
and the speech patterns on the dub are so delayed, where it's like,
Yeah.
and your soup is the best,
Yeah.
Mui.
I didn't know that. Notice that. I was more so paying attention to like the quality of the voices and like their just general line delivery. Beryl was okay. Everything else was kind of
Well,
downhill from there.
well, I think
Especially like I said, the foreign knight captain, like the big
Mm.
dude. It was he was terrible. So I'm really glad that I watched the dub only for half of the first episode and then the last episode.
Well, I think the redhead's actually a good voice actress as well in the dub, because she was the only name I actually recognized out of like the entire cast.
But insofar as the show itself goes, I really liked it. A good use of CGI to capture some of the like smoother elements of sword fighting.
Because it's fucking hilarious, Marcel.
Like the story overall is good. I like the characters. I like what it's done. It's just Barrel's whole power is I'm really good with a sword, so I thought it was good shit.
I liked
Yeah.
it too.
It was interesting, to see the analysis part, the way they animated that with the slowing it down, where you could see the sword and then the spark. I liked this was, I think, like Crimson is talking about, good use of appropriate use of CG and things, and sparking and as they're fighting and doing all that kind of good stuff where you could catch the movements. I know Shad has done analysis video on the sword play.
Can we have another vote on who the MC should bang first? I'm saying the Knight Captain lady.
All right, let's go. Slash poll.
Yeah, this is like, which waifu style do you like better? Do you like
Oh, that didn't work.
I mean, there's also the other girls.
there's the
magic
magician
ones,
sword fighter. Yeah,
and
there's the
then
two.
the girl with the Zweihander. But I don't really care about them. I'm really.
I was
only
about to say,
interested in-
you've got the girl who knows how to use the two hands.
All right, we're making it very simple. Which girl, red or white?
I mean, personally,
Redhead.
I'm on team white. So
Team Redhead.
All right, well then go vote, damn it.
I mean, basically, are you saying,
I'm
do
team
you
white.
do you want sword wielding Amelia or Eris with less clothes?
And older.
both is good.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're doing that comparison, my proclivities have already, been public. So it should be no surprise that I would say white hair.
So you really liked Alia Hides Her Feelings in Russian.
All right,
I
well,
did
Crimson-
actually. I
Yeah,
loved that series.
It was a good show.
The redhead is one. She's 3 votes, 100%. No one else is voting. That we got stopped. Okay. And Cole, there you go.
Look, she's so blessed that even when he's trying to hide her in the animation art, key art here, she's still busting out right behind him, the redhead. Like,
Yeah.
Rudy wins with his wives. I mean, I don't think no, because oh wait, I
No,
guess Sylphie has got
Leon-
white hair now, right? So there.
Leon definitely has better wives than Rudy. Put it
Nah,
in the bank.
Rentaro has better wives than all of them.
Rentaro
Has-
has all
has
of
he-
the wives. That's why
Has he married them yet, though?
he's going to. He really, 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 really loves them.
Well, he does have Hahari.
I mean, I'm still
So what
waiting
if it-
for season 3 so we can get the Ameribu girl.
So I missed the poll. He would have voted white. So we have at least 3 whites, and we would have had at least 3 reds. And then little Chad didn't vote, so he would have said red to win it.
Yeah.
Best. There you go.
Well, is it still? Yeah. I can...
No, I stopped. He didn't. It didn't matter. And that trade body
Rigged poll.
rigged. Wasn't allowed to vote.
Hashtag riggers.
All right.
Got Marcelo over here. Death by snoo snoo. The is like the heart is willing, but the flesh is weak. You guys are lost. Rudy has.
Yeah, but
Wait, no. He only has 3 wives.
Shut your drunk ass up, muffler tape.
well, Leon has Angie. She has
Leon has 7.
Olivia. He has, I'm guessing Noelle, right? I'm guessing Noelle.
All right, here you go. Angie, Olivia, Noelle, and then he also ends up picking up Hartrude. He ends up picking up
Deidre.
Deidre, Clarissa,
And
and
Malene.
and Malene,
Malene.
and
Queen
he
Malene! Yes.
and he also gets
Kyle's mom.
yeah.
My
what's-
life as a villain.
Let's
Milo.
go.
All routes
and
lead back to
the
trapped in a
last
dating
one
sim.
oh and the villain for Noelle. What was her name? It was
Luis.
Luis. So
Yeah.
he has all of them.
So that's
And-
like 10.
And it's confirmed that he well, I don't want to he's not just wives in name only for these women.
Let's go, Leon Faux Barport.
Harems are worthless if you don't bang all of the chicks.
And well, it's a funny thing because Marie lives the life the reverse harem way, which is hilarious.
Poor Marie just failed with her reverse era.
So have you gotten to the point where
She
they
made him go get fucking jobs. That's the last part I went. She's like, these fucking losers have to go get a job.
has Clear started doing her experiment in the audiobook that you've been are you up to that part?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's from the last one where she made that Aaron guy get inappropriately touched by another man.
It goes further.
Oh no, I haven't got there yet. Okay. now let's go to one of my favorite stupid
Oh,
fucking
this one-
animes. Oh
This
my
was so stupid I quit. I just couldn't so
it's awesome.
I've
Like,
got nothing to
episode
offer
six-
after the terrible first episode.
Episode
I
6
watched
is
like 3 or 4 episodes of this.
Episode 6 is really good. It's about like a VTuber who gets killed, and then like they solve it, and like the person that they tried to frame as the killer actually like saved the thing that mattered the most, and then she dedicated a song to him. It was 5 and 6 were really good. The last episode, you know how this guy has like his family is like has a car company or whatever.
No, I
Well,
don't.
No, you didn't. You don't. I thought you
No.
watched the first episode where he fucking talks about it. He fucking mentions it every fucking episode.
I genuinely didn't notice that.
No,
Or
I
I just tuned it out, honestly.
All right, so his family has like a car company, right? And the bad guy at the very end is like, "Man, these cars are a piece of shit." And he's like, "How dare you?" And he like flips his car around and he's like flying upside down. So his car's upside down and the car's like this. And he's like, "How dare you say that? Pull over." And then he like flips over the car and then the car won't stop. And he's like, "These piece of shit cars." So I thought it was really funny because he was just yelling at the villain for like, yeah. But it's actually pretty good. But it's really dumb and funny to me. This is a Biggles anime. Yeah, it got really good. I really liked
We
it.
know it's a Biggles anime, Biggles. We know.
Marcel says still got nothing on Rent-A-Row. Well, he does have Hahari, so he
Muffler Tape's just drunk comparing to comparing a completed series to one that's still ongoing.
I guarantee Leon knocks him up. It's time to duel. Muffler Tape. If you want a duel, bring it on. We'll get on Master Duels, and I'll have to put you into place with Sky Strikers. Let's go. Actually, they just keep changing all the rules. I don't even know the rules anymore. I probably wouldn't be very good. Now, let's do summer stuff. Yay! So,
Yay.
we're going a little longer than 2 hours today, so just deal with it, chat. All right. No. So, My Dress Up Darling. We watching it?
I am.
Well,
I've been
yeah,
waiting for this for a while.
All
Yeah.
right, we're watching My Dress Up Darling. We'll
I
talk
mean,
about that every week.
Why are you even asking if we're gonna
Because
watch?
I'm doing something. So shut up and just go with it, little Chad. I love you. Don't hurt me. Okay, so
That sounded really sad. I love you. Don't hurt me.
okay, isn't that what you tell people every day? Otherwise, they beat you. No,
Your home life is really
Just-
different than a lot of people's.
just me. Shit. Okay.
Dan to Dan is definitely a check. I mean,
Dan to
that's-
Dan is a yes, right? We'll talk about that every week. Okay.
I've already got the first 3 locked in. So
All right.
we're
Kaiju
good.
number 8, we're watching, right? Otherwise, I hate you, right?
I'm,
Okay.
well,
Nah,
that-
I'm gonna skip that one.
Son of a bitch.
you haven't given us much choice on that. So yeah, of course.
Okay. So we're watching that and talking about that every week. Call of the Night. Have you guys watched it?
I'm probably gonna try and catch up on this one so I can watch season 2.
All right. Little chat of you.
I will try to catch up on it so we can
All
watch
right.
it. Yeah.
We don't have to talk about that every week. We can talk about it every now and then. Rising of the Shield Hero season 4. Are we talking about it?
I won't be watching it because I haven't even watched season 2.
Okay. A little Chad.
I've watched all 3 seasons, so I'll probably watch this one.
All right.
The last one was kind of a better than
I
2,
will be
but still
watching that
less
middle
slog.
one though because I hear a lot of people say good things about it.
Fragrant Flowers Bloom with Dignity.
Yeah, romance anime.
All right. Well, you can have fun with that. Are we going to
Hell
talk
yeah,
about
Rascal. That's a great.
right.
Have
All
you
right,
watched the
so-
first one?
So
It's
I haven't-
available in dub now, Biggles.
So
I
I'll-
haven't watched I haven't watched it either, honestly.
So we're not talking about it. We'll talk about it every so often. Okay, Sakamoto Days. I haven't even watched the first part, but I can try to catch up if you want to. Do you guys want to talk about this every day or every stream? Or no?
I'm gonna watch it because I watched season 1 or part 1, but
All right.
you don't have to watch it to keep up with me. It will. I probably just end up being something that I watch for my own sake.
For some reason, there's like a bunch of naked dudes on here, so we're just going to go past there.
Grand Blue is very popular, so
Um,
Ooh,
Oh,
Gachi
so wait,
Akita.
scroll back up. Scroll back up.
there's
The summer
Gachi
that Hiraka.
Akita.
Yeah, I also heard that the summer Hikaru
Well-
died is supposed to be really good.
So this is my friend. It's her favorite manga, or one of her top 3 favorite mangas. So I might watch it. So some of these, like, this is a new show, right?
Yes.
All right. So I might want to talk about this like every couple of weeks because I kind of really want to talk about these ones, like
Mhm.
every week. But I kind of want to like slow watch some of these ones because like with this season, there's a lot of really good stuff that came out. And a lot of them I just really like more watching like 3 episodes at a time.
Are we gonna get Crimson to hate watch Rent a Girlfriend season 4?
I have
We're
only
going to-
watched 1 season. I am not watching 3 seasons of Rent a Girlfriend.
We're going to watch
I
all
will-
4 seasons.
I will
and never
find
talk
you,
about them.
dox you, and then post fucking nudes of you on the internet. Okay,
You
Stop.
want nudes of me here?
No.
Wait, you know what's funny, Crimson? All of those things is stuff that could have happened to the main character of Rent a Girlfriend, and he would still simp for her after she did that. He would still be like, I know that you doxed me and put my nudes on the internet, but I'll wait for you until you love me.
That is a fucking charcoal take, muffler tape.
I think Muffler just wants her for himself. Of all the
Rascal is a fantastic anime, and what I was telling you, Biggles, is
It's on my list, so I gotta
it's
catch it up.
they have a dub now. It had for the longest time they didn't have a dub. It's
Okay.
available.
And we're going to talk about vending machine just because of Sporking. So on the days we do talk about vending machine, we'll try to get Sporking on if we can.
I'm intrigued about New Saga because it looks like a non-H version of redo of Healer, kind of.
So we'll probably like some of the newer ones. We'll probably talk
City
about
the
like.
animation, I'll probably check out because it's Nichijou creator.
There you go.
So
Okay,
it's comedy.
So I'm thinking like I do want to talk about this one, so maybe we can watch this one. Crimson said he's read the light novels, right, or the manga?
Yeah, it's Overlord's less cool younger cousin.
There you go. So I kind of want to read this or watch this just because of that.
Hold on, I see that the description on the left said "girl love." What does that show?
There's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless you touch my butt. I don't know.
See,
I'm
the
assuming
one I saw of that is someone edited the title, so instead of lover, it says the gay slur.
I will not. There's no way I'll be your lesbian. Okay. Okay. All right. This one seems like, you dated my sister. Now I'm dating you. That's fucking. That sounds like a revenge one to me. Um,
I
yeah.
don't.
So I.
I don't think it is, but it's all right.
And
There's
then
a
I kind
lot
of
of
want to watch
stuff in
this one
here that
because I
I'm
like
actually
assassins.
going to watch. I'm gonna go over that Saturday. So
Hold on a
which
second. Solo camping for two is a completely oxymoronic title.
Yeah.
You
I.
you can't solo camp with another person. Then it's just camping.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like-
But yeah, I kind of want to slow it down for next or for this season because I really just want to focus on like these big three, and then we can throw in like different animes each week.
so Crimson, what he's really saying is, I want to focus on Kaiju number 8.
And you guys focus on Dandada, and then
How do you? How have
we
you?
can
Why
have
do
our
you
fan
hate?
service.
Why are you so afraid of it, Biggles? Just
I'm not afraid of it. I just like Kaiji number 8 way better. Look at this.
why are you afraid of his banana?
Fucking those.
banana or kudasai.
There's no such thing. Okay. You already have Crimson. What more do you want? Marcel, I deserve a legal Marin. Dude does not, since he is a herbivore. You know what?
I don't understand the Gojo hate from this man. But
I
I'm gonna
don't
have to
either.
talk. He's on the show Wednesday, so I'm gonna have to like fucking shoo this dude out for this fucking
Yep.
charcoal ass take.
Gojo is a good man. All right. So I Biggles have the villainous takeover for next week. So we are talking about villainesses because I have a problem.
Yes, you do.
I have a problem. So we are going to be talking about all the villainous. I can't find this show anywhere, but it was a villainous show, so I put it on here. I can't find it. So this one technically not on here. And at one point I only had 9 of these. So now we have to like go through. We're going to do a tier list. All right. We're going to do a tier list. One tier list is going to be who is the best villainous. And I mean, who is actually a villain. So if you're not a villain, you don't get to be up at the top. Okay. So obviously we know who's going to win. Then we're going to do who's the most powerful villainous. And we'll go through their fighting skills. We'll have that ranking. Then I'll let Crimson and little Chad choose a rating of how we're doing it. This is already my list on
I have
order.
watched maybe like 3 of these anime, my guy.
well start.
It's not possible for me to watch this much anime in a fucking week.
Do
All right,
it,
here's
Crimson.
what I can. All right, looking at
I
the
have
list.
to dedicate all of tomorrow to finishing Death Note so I can talk about it Wednesday. I'm
Listen,
going to
you
have a
don't have to
couple of
watch either
days,
one of
and I
these.
have other things that I want to catch up on for summer anime because there's a bunch of season 1s that I haven't watched.
All right, I'm just telling. All right, I've got the entire top row, I think.
I will play your Mystery Science Theater and I will comment on this stuff and make jokes, but I cannot guarantee you any level of meaningful input.
Your meaningful input.
Wait a second.
I'll put my
What?
meaningful
Hold
input
on.
up your ass.
What
Why
did
is
I-
Do Over Damsel on there? That's not a villainous show.
Well, she was killed for being the villain.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was, wasn't she?
She was framed for. That's not a. She wasn't like. She's not an Otami villainess.
Well, if we go through of which ones are Otome games, um,
Or. Or is
right?
she? I mean, I guess in the loose fact that she is a female who reincarnated, then
After
yes.
being killed for being considered a villainess,
I think you're.
just like Tear Moon Empire, she's not a Otome game villainess, but she was killed off as a villainess. So let's see, Otome game, novel villainess. Um, so this one technically says she's a villainess, but she was also. It looked like she was framed because her husband or her fiance wanted a different girl, and she would like pick on her.
No, that's not the time loop one. The
Isn't that how
fiance.
she died?
No, the she picked the fiance dumped her for another girl, and so she ran off. And every time she dies, she time loops back to when she got dumped by her fiance, and
Yeah,
so
but
she lives.
he said she committed all these crimes. So
I,
like seven
I,
times.
your interpretation of a villainess is very loose, Biggles.
Well, fucking then tell me why they named it the villainess then on here. Why is this called the villainess? Oh shit! What did I just removed it? Listen,
I'm not trying to like break your list. I don't. I just.
fucking no. I know. Listen, I know. I don't think she's a villainess in the word, but it said it is a villainous anime. Where the fuck is it? Okay, hold on. There it is. Right. Okay. So this one, 7 time loop, right? Let me move this up to where it belongs. Okay. Right. She goes back. So um, she is considered a villainess in this show. She's not an Otome game villainess. Otome game, novel, Otome game, Otome game, Otome game, Otome game. I believe Otome game, Otome game, Otome game. So not an Otome game, not an Otome game, not an Otome game, not an Otome game. But
I mean, I get that she's a female that reincarnates and she's trying to avoid her death, but her death happens in like various random different ways. It's not because she's a villain. I think the first time she's acting as a merchant and she gets caught in a war, like where she's a civilian casualty.
All of them
Yeah.
are because of the war, right? But this one has that she is a villainess in the title, right?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
she's framed for crimes against the kingdom, or because he wanted to break up with her.
all right. I mean,
So if you want,
no, you're right. It has villainous in the title, so that's fine.
right?
I just I always thought of it as seventh time loop, but yeah, so it's fine.
Well, this one, Tear Moon Empire, she's treated as the villainess and she's killed, right? So you can say this isn't a villainess. That's fine. We could remove it, right? We could say this one, Elise in her first life was a bad person and then considered a villainess, comes back and does it. This one, she's considered the villainess, but she's killed, right? And then
Yeah, I mean, she was framed for trying to make an attempt on her fiance's life. I guess in the broad context that would make her a villain. Sure. I don't know. I never thought of Do Over Damsel, and I watched the whole thing as like a villainous show. To me, it was a reincarnation, like kind
See,
of just vibe.
see, that's also part of the problem, right? Like they're not like when I think of a villainous show, I think of the Otome game or the novels, right? So like, even though this says she's a villainess, based on her, like the character herself, I wouldn't think of her as a villainess, but in her world, they treat her as the villainess, and that's why they killed her. In this world, they treat her like the villainess because she was a mean little girl, so they killed her, right? On her when she became 20, right? Killed her when she was like 20 because she was mean, right? Killed her because she was mean, right?
Yeah, reasonable. Well, you know what? It's your show, and I think you can make reasoned arguments for all of them. So we'll go with it.
But
Plus, I've seen that one, so I don't have to do more homework.
right, so if you want, we can remove Tier Moon Empire, even though I really like the horsey sandwiches. If you want only ones with villainous in the title, we can get rid of this and this.
No, we'll keep it. It'll give us more leeway. I've seen heretical last boss queen. I've seen level 99 villainous. I've seen so I've definitely I've got most of these covered.
Yeah, and then Crimson's got these two.
I'm starting. All right, that very last one that you're looking at. Are you sure that one's not a what like an inappropriate adult series one?
It says it's an OVA. I can't find it anywhere. So we can just remove this from the list because I don't know anything about it. I just saw that
What is it?
the prince's favorite is a villainess.
That's hentai.
Is it really?
That is hentai.
Sweet. Let's remove it from the list.
Because
That's why I can't find it anywhere.
No, and I can 100% confirm to you it is hentai, and it is like
Crimson has
6-minute
watched it.
episode hentai. Yes, I
There
have.
you go. Crimson has watched all. So Crimson can talk about that one. How does she rank as a villainess?
hold on, I think Biggles don't.
It's been a while, but if getting dicked down at the end of the series is something that counts.
Biggles, I think you have an appropriate video clip that you can pull up.
I regret to say that I have touched myself to hentai with better animation than this. That shouldn't be a thing.
Crimson, can you confirm it had better animation than Temu Tensei?
Barely, yes. So the funny thing is I have videos like that up on my channel, and I was just informed today. I went out to dinner with my mother that my aunt subscribed to my channel.
Oh no!
Nice. Let me steal your aunt as a subscriber. Come over here, Aunt of Crimson. All right, so obviously we see my rankings. I finished the Otome game of this, and if you play exactly like Katarina will, you will get the Nico route. So that's going to be my canon.
So Nicol is true end game.
That's what I assume. If you play just like Katarina, and even in the other routes, she's just like Nico. Oh my God, his aura! Like, but yeah, next week we have our villainous takeover. So we'll be talking about these. I've already I powered through this 2 nights ago. I powered through this last night. I gotta rewatch this one and this one because I finished this last week, or I finished this right before on the plane. Or no, I watched too many heroines on the plane. I watched this right before I got on the plane. I watched this on my way back to the plane. Do not watch this if you're going to be on a plane. The first scene is her dying on a plane, basically. Like, son of a bitch, I'm on a plane. Why did you tell me to watch this? This one's really good. I might say this one's a lot better after my rewatch than these ones. But obviously, these are my two favorites, and then this is a really good one, which is a novel villainous. And then we get two more. We get two more villainesses in winter. So yeah, villainous takeover next week. Everybody be there. Bring your favorite villainous. Who's your favorite love interest? Get all this shit there. Let's go. And then we'll do tier lists. We'll have fun with it. And that's because next week we'll have maybe like a little bit to talk about with Apothecary Diaries having a new episode, probably, hopefully, and then maybe a couple finales. But we're going to focus on the villainesses. And I will say goodbye, everybody, and we'll see you next week. So please subscribe to my guests. If you're not subscribed to me, which I'm pretty sure you all are, you can click that sub button. But you guys want to say anything?
No, I'm good.
Do I want to say anything? Show up Wednesday for Fictionology Death Note. I would appreciate y'all being there. That was it.
All right, and instead of Goblin Slayer, we're going to go with a villainous speech. Bye, everybody.
Later.
Look at you. Your hair is a mess and full of split ends. And wearing your skirt at that length makes your legs look short and stubby. Your ribbon's all crooked as well.